Hey, what's up you guys? This is Ty from TableFlipFoundry.com. I'm here with our very first tutorial on our channel. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to make your own DIY airbrush station with stuff you can just buy at Home Depot, Lowe's, or Walmart, any of your local big brand stores. It's really simple, it takes hardly any tools, and it's pretty clever, I think, and you might really enjoy it, so enjoy the video. Okay, let's go over some of the things you need in order to build this. This is some aluminum U-channel. This is technically 3/4. It's better if you can find 1 inch, but the Lowe's that I was at didn't have it. You can still make this work with this type of filter. You may have to trim the filter or just sort of bend the ends, but this is an 8-foot piece, which is all you need. It costs about 14 or 15 bucks at your hardware store. So we're going to start with that. And then we also have 2 just regular box fans. Literally the cheapest you can buy, you're totally fine. These usually come about 20 inches by 20 inches. You need 2 air filters. Super cheap is okay. You can go more expensive if you want. The air filters are going to slide in and out of that channel, and so you can replace them really easily. So this is a pack. It comes with I think 2 in it. It costs about 4 or 5 bucks. Then we also have, this is 2-foot foam insulation for your house. It comes pre-cut like this from Home Depot, and we're going to use this for the top and bottom of our airbrush station. Also, Walmart, I think $11 or $12. This is a nice big 24-inch LED light that you can mount up in the top of the station so you can see what you're working on. Super cheap, and all you're going to need is a hot glue gun, and you're going to need some way to cut the aluminum channels. So a Sawzall, a Dremel, a chop saw, a table saw, I mean a hack saw would totally work and be very easy. So it's very easy to cut aluminum. So we're going to start out by opening up one of these fans and measuring it so that we can take a proper measurement for the channel. Let's do that real quick. Alright, so first thing, we're going to measure the width and height of the fan. It should be totally square. Looks like we are just slightly over 20 inches. So when we cut this channel, we're going to want to make sure to cut it at, let's say, 21 inches per piece. We'll go from bottom to top here. 21 inches should work fine. Out of an 8-foot chunk, we should get 4 pieces, which is all we need. So let's go ahead and get the channel, mark it off with a Sharpie, 21 inches, and we're going to go out to the backyard and cut it with my chop saw. But like I said, you can use any tool you want, so let's go get to it. Alright, I got my Sharpie here. Let's measure this out. 21 inches. Okay, let's get started. I'm just going to use my regular wood saw. Aluminum cuts just fine with this. Just make sure to wear eye protection when you're working and go nice and slow. Just make sure you protect yourself with any equipment you need. Let's go ahead and get this cut. Alright, now that we're back, we can take this extra bit that we have and get rid of it. We don't need it. We've got our 4 U-channels. Now those cuts may not be perfectly clean. They might be a little jagged. You can take a file and clean them up if you want. It's totally not necessary. I just usually try to put the cut end down if I can. So 2 of these are for 1 fan, so we're going to put 2 away. When you get the fan, you won't need the feet. You won't need the directions, it's a fan. So that's going to be the back of our fan. So we want to have the filter on the back side. So we want the air blowing through the fan this way and away from our work area. So we're going to lay this down on its head, and we're going to get one of our filters. We'll make sure our measurements are really good here. Plenty of room. So when we do this, we want to make sure to line up on this side so that we can get our channel in here, just like that. And then we want to be able to do that on both sides. And with everything lined up, we're going to hot glue the channels to the fan. And that way the filter is replaceable. So then we can slide the filter out the top, put a new filter in. So let's go ahead and get hot glue in here. All right, let's get this glue going. You can be very liberal with this hot glue. All right, perfect. We'll get the other side done here. All right, now that we're done with this fan, the idea is that we can remove this filter when it's full and dirty, and then we can replace it with the new filter whenever we feel like it. Now keep in mind the 1-inch rail is better if you can find it. So any 1-inch rail will work just fine. In this case, this was all I had available, so it's a tight fit, but I'll make it work. All right, so just repeat this for the second fan. Okay, there we have it, 2 fans with filters. We need to make sure we do something with these cables. It's really easy to just loop this cable underneath and out the side. So for now, that's what we're gonna do. And it's time to grab the baseboard. So we're not gonna square this up with the baseboard, we're gonna run it diagonally, and we're going to butt these 2 fans up right next to each other, just like that. So what I wanna do, see if I can get this for you, is I'm gonna overlap the filter brackets all the way down if I can. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue those together, and then I'm gonna glue the brackets to the board at the bottom, and that should hold it all together for me. Let's go ahead and start hot gluing one. Perfect. And then we're gonna carefully hot glue the bottom. And then I'm gonna run a bead of hot glue down the front. You can also use a torch to reheat this hot glue if you find that it's getting everywhere and it's getting too messy, or you're having a hard time getting into the seam. All right, there we are. The 2 are together. And now we're gonna create the base just like this. Now the way that I like to do it is I wanna lift these filters out and use a razor blade to cut these out so that I can glue directly to the fans. So let's go ahead and find a razor blade for that. All right, so for this part, we're just gonna kind of wing it. Cut a little bit here, cut a little bit here, and then we wanna separate out this corner. There we are, let's have a look. Oh, we're gonna have to cut these. We're gonna have to cut these sides too. I'm gonna mark off each side of this guide here. And we're gonna cut in that 3/4 of an inch or close to it. Oops. Perfect, all right, let's do the other. Do this one over here. Let's go ahead and cut this. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Let's see how it all fits. Oh my gosh. All right, looks like we've got it notched in pretty close. There's a little gap here, so I'm gonna have to take a little off the corner. All right, I'm very happy with that right there. So now that we are all notched up and looking good, it's time to connect everything on the bottom of the fan with hot glue, so let's get started. It's time to attach the fan and the base with hot glue. Just make sure you don't melt the foam with the hot glue gun. Okay, let's do this side here. Let's get a nice bunch of hot glue on the fan. Sandwich it. Add a bit more. I am pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do now, you can choose to do this, is I'm going to cut a straight line all the way through. I'm going to get some sort of straight edge. All right, I couldn't find a straight edge, so we're just going to eyeball it. I'm going to go from corner to corner here is all I'm going to do. All right, now that we're done with that, there we are. We're gonna take this piece and we're gonna glue it, but we're only gonna glue it to the rails. And I like to leave a little bit above this so you can grab the filters by hand. So we're gonna go ahead and get this glued up here. All right, we got this all glued up. This top part is connected. This isn't supposed to be the most strongest structure. Just be gentle around it. You should be totally fine. All we're gonna do now is install the light, which we should have plenty of room to install the light. So let's go ahead and get the light open here and get it glued in. Okay, so this light that I bought is very, very simple. It just has a plug on this end. What we're gonna do is just glue this with the bulb pointed in so that it's not right in your face while you're airbrushing. And we're gonna do this right up top like this. So let me go ahead and get that hot glue out and we'll get that glued on here. All right, so you can see we got the light glued on. We just need to run the wiring, so let's plug it in. There we are. All right, so for the rest of it, there's a couple of different ways you can go. In this case, I just had what I had lying around the house. I have this, which is just it's just a plug with a switch. So really simple. I'm gonna plug my 3-way into it because I have a light and 2 fans. I'm gonna plug my light in. I'm gonna plug my fan in. And then I'm gonna bring this around and plug the other fan into it on the other side. So you can run a power brick like this. That's not a problem at all if you want to. It just seemed overkill for me and I happen to have the parts lying around. So you can get one of these for a couple bucks at like Walmart or Walgreens or something like that. So you don't have to use this, so you can use whatever you want, just get it all powered. Okay, so I do have a switch on the light here. It's kind of hard to see. I got this turned on. We're gonna hit the switch. I got a light, so now my whole station is lit on the inside. And I can adjust these fans to 3 different settings. I'm gonna set them to number 2. Some of these don't have, I'm gonna actually set them to 1 so you can hear me. Some of these they only have 1 fan and you wanna turn it up as high as possible. This has a lot of airflow that comes through it. So when you're spraying, you probably don't need it on the highest setting, but you're welcome to use whatever setting you like. But that's it. We'll probably button up some of the wiring just so that it's nice and tidy, or zip tied to the handles so it doesn't accidentally get pulled or go anywhere. But that's our DIY airbrush station. 2 fans, 2 filters, tons of light. It's relatively cheap and we made it ourselves, so we can be extra proud of it. That's it, my very first DIY tutorial on YouTube. I know it's not great, I'll definitely get better, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something or you came up with some cool ideas in the process. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe and do all of that social media stuff. You can also check out our Twitch. We occasionally do 3D printing classes or hobby-related stuff, character building for D&D, things like that. Also, you can check out our website is www.tableflipfoundry.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and we'll see you later.